Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I'm a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. The journey continues today on, good question, actually this is a day in the office. Well, we started that well. On January 26, 2025, starting at approximately 3:50 p.m. PST. Now, I don't have an actual schedule, an actual plan, as it were, for a day in the office. I'm just here puttering, taking the time out to make certain that I actually get things accomplished. You know, ultimately it boils down to this. I'm looking at my world going, I'm not happy with the way it is. So I'm changing it. And this is just the steps that I'm making to do so. Now, where am I here? Okay, shall we get started now? That neat little page. Those are, what is that? Oh, that was notes. We had a really hectic day today. So I'm actually surprised it got sorted around in time to get back here. But we managed to get, we being my wife and I, managed to get the stuff started to get immigration in and running. Because as I've told you before, my wife is from the States. Okay, we're already married. Now it's just a case of going after permanent residency. But the reality is we had to find an immigration company to help us get things mobilized. I'll keep you posted on how things go. And quite honestly, once I know for certain how it's working, we'll bring you up to speed on exactly who it was I went through, or we went through. That is the notes for it. Oh, I do require. Where are we here? Open this up. Love when I do that, I don't have quite enough floor in the office right now, so I'm working on that. But let's see. That file folder there. See, what it boils down to is this. When you're changing the way your world is going, it is critical that you get things in order. Okay, so what I've done is said, okay, well, that was different. What I've done is said, okay, how am I going to do this? Okay, and in this case, it really boils down to going, what are the steps I've got to follow? That's a pen. Okay, that should work there. Again, I've kept my office tidy so that the stuff is where it belongs. And now, as I told my wife, we're putting a file together to make certain that we get it all working. Where are we? Okay. Again, you literally, well, that was nice. It was nice. Spelt that wrong, but I'll have to live with it. Because I don't feel like changing it, as it were. So, take that. I'm pretty certain I should add 2 ends, but can't do much with it now. Whoa. Okay. Hands are down. And there we are. I don't like that. So, let's take a peek at that and just make sure I did it right. Oh, why not use that? This would be one of those things that people my age recognize, also known as dictionary. And they still, in my eyes, they're not quite as fast, in all fairness, as the internet is. But At least they don't change and don't require power to run them. Okay, what am I looking for? I was right. Okay. I still believe wholeheartedly that the old methods are way more secure. They may not be as quick, they may not be as fancy, but I'm still very much a dinosaur. There we go. Much happier with that. We take that. What was that? Oh, that's the end. See, the thing is, when you're working, it's extremely important that you're accurate. Because the moment you start slacking off on accuracy, you set the stage for all kinds of problems. Do yourself a favor. Don't permit yourself to get lax. It backfires really well. Uh-oh, what do we got? Mike, how you doing? Glad you could join us. And you are in with the gold. The reality of it is, I take a look at the whole way my world is working and go, okay, I'm not content, so I've got to make the changes. Now, right about now, we just got immigration moving in the right direction. This is a good thing, at least in my eyes. Now to start looking at the rest of it. Now, what is this? Wonder if this is the pages that I had in. Oh, it is so. Ain't that nice? Now, all of this paperwork, this is all from gaming. Okay. And this is one of those things I've been working on for a long time. Way too many things on the go on occasion. That creates a problem. So what I'm doing now is going, okay, I've got all kinds of notes that have to be sorted out. So pardon me while I turn around a little, because kind of have to. Let's see. Stuff, the wagon, on the property, the money I've got. This is all about a game itself. Scrolls that are worth I've got. Information on the horses. That's the armor I'm actually wearing. And notes themselves. Oh, neat little thing. I managed to reconnect with my boss from 30 years ago now. Amazingly, the man is still around. Okay, but both of us, it was a really nice reunion. And now we're going to be getting back in touch with each other. He actually asked if I could come down and join and meet him. He still lives in the same city as I do. We just haven't seen each other in 30 years. So now we're moving forward. We'll see him sometime in the near future. He's going to give me a call when he's got time for it. What do I got there? Sure, lock the phone and then try and figure out what I did. Recent. Look at that. Okay. So now that I've got that moving, now we take a look at this stuff and see what we can do. Because the whole catch to it, and the neat thing is this: my gaming life, like as in I play D&D, I also play tabletop Star Wars. But what I found is that my gaming life actually works like an absolute charm at if you will, manifesting my physical world because they tend to follow the same path. Oh, good, I've got that. Sitting here going, why am I getting dizzy? Now, what did I do with it? Must have left that up front, but that's okay. So, when you're redesigning your own world, first thing you do is take your office, wherever you work on your finances, wherever you work on your organization. That's the place you start, because that's got to be clear to get the rest of your head to work. Now, let's see what we can do by eliminating some of this stuff. I will do my best to keep an eye on things. And again, if you've got a question, absolutely put it in the chat room in all caps. That way, I can track it down. Let's see here. I require that. So finances. Wagon. Guess I can put the barge on this one. This is another item I happen to own. So we put that here. That's the barge. Finances are. That should be that. Yep. And what I'm doing right now is going through the stuff I've got and literally itemizing it. Now the thing is, I'm doing this with my material world as well. Okay. That's why I went out today and ended up picking up a little bit of groceries. Like I said, I'm starting first of all. Boy, am I all over the place or what? I am starting first of all. Got the office sorted around. In my gaming world, I'm literally going, okay, where can I go? Where are we? 4 ores. There we are. 4 ores. Square front mounted sail. Oh, square front mounted sail. There we go. Nice part there. This is just literally. Oh, who do we got coming in? Cosmic, how we doing? Glad you could join us. I trust things are going well for you. I'm just doing this for half a moment. I figured I might just as well get some of this stuff out of the way. Where are we here? Look, where is my money? There. Look, I need that. No. That is that. See, now, one of the funny things about the way my life is right now is I figured out what I'm aiming for, why I'm aiming for it, and that's always handy. Where is it? The barge. That's why. I got Larry's brothers. That's the name of the sailors that I've got that are handling the barge that my character bought. Once I get this page out of the way, I'm going to start laying out things I've got to do with my physical world because of the fact that we finally got the stuff for immigration started. And that means I get to start moving my wife up here permanently. So, this is simply the way I'm doing things. 1 gold per day plus 10 gold per fight. And that takes care of that. Now, where's my experience? Thought I had that set. Uh-oh, here we are. Oh, Cosmic, I do feel for you. 7 inches of snow is just way too much for me anymore. And my nice neighbor shoveled my wheelchair around. Boy, is that ever handy. I do hope you win the lottery. I mean, that would be such a bonus for you. The sad reality is there are so many times when we gamble on the lottery paying off. I know I gave up on it myself. I really did. I used to play the lottery, and then one year I bought a full sheet of scratch and win. $20 untouched, it wasn't even separated. And all we managed to get was quite literally, we managed to win 2 free tickets. And I figured there is no way I'm spending another plug nickel on a lottery ticket. So I didn't. Net result, the only way I'm going to win the lottery is if I find the winning ticket, because there's no way I'll buy one. I just found it was just too much of a gamble and didn't pay off worth a darn. So I figure from that standpoint, I'll just carry on moving forward with my own stuff. Did I completely scramble something here? I don't think so, but we'll check the backside of it. The thing is, 40 years ago, when I first got to Kelowna, we were under 3 to 4 feet of snow at this point in time, around about this time of the year, at 30 to 40 below Celsius. Okay. And with that in mind, we did turn around and go, okay, that's way too cold, but it has warmed up. We barely get to the -10 anymore. Which, from your guys' standpoint, really boils down to about 25 degrees-ish. That's just notes and what have you. I'm looking at this going, I got way too many notes. So I'm going to have to really focus and get that sorted around. I don't know what happened there. But it's not like it makes a whole lot of difference. So I think what I'm going to do, much as I've got to get this stuff done, I really have to get my world worked around. Whoa, how you doing? Glad you could join us. Yeah, we actually had some really good news today, Woo. The immigration company that we got a hold of has set things in motion for us. We should be getting the information later today. And then it all starts to move forward. That said, it shouldn't take us long. Well, That's not entirely correct. If everything goes well, we're looking at probably 14 months, which is a lot faster than it used to be. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm really happy for you there, Cosmic. My luck with lotteries was not great. My luck in this case with a wife is phenomenal. Now, what is, I don't, oh, guess since I don't have that, I will do that this way. And I'll have this afterwards. Paladin, Cleric, Mage. What do I got? What was that? Bless is 100. Up front's where my other experience is, so that works out well. Money. Right there. What's this? Minus 11 copper. Yes, I'm muttering to myself. I do that a lot. Notes. You go there. Yeah, stop. That's not what I mean. Notes. There we are. We are at -3 impact. Gonna have to get that a little more organized. I'm actually making pretty decent headway there. Okay. All that is, what is that? 350. What, pray tell, is that? Okay. Just about done this one sheet. Then I'm going to get on to the rest of the stuff. That's all done now. So, there we are. Fire chime is 4. Look, what is this? Down there. Fire chime forward, late blast fireball. There we go. And the funny thing is, I am simply focusing on what I've got to get done. This is why I keep an eye on what's going on in the chat room, because I've got so much that's got to be organized in order to make headway. All that's done, and where did my XP go? There we are. XT. That is clearly not XP. Because I didn't spend that money. I didn't do that. So we're looking, well, we did, but I don't have enough notes to deal with. Property, where are we? No, that's not the property this is. Property, there we go. These are the people I'm working with. Okay. And where is it? Oh, yeah, that's right. $1 per month each. And money. Because it really is time to get a whole lot more organized. There we are. That takes all that out of the way. There is my list for strolls. This is 6 illusions. And what number is that? No. Scroll 853. There we go. And that takes care of that one. Told you I'd get it sorted out. Now I can get on with the rest of things. Because it really is time to pay attention. Since I'm live, should actually pay attention to what I'm doing. Okay, that's toasted. Now, let's see. Where do we go? Because as soon as I get done this stream, I've got to get to work on things. Nope, not that. This. Okay. That's all stuff for the game. This, on the other hand, is what I've got to get working on. So, the rest of the list is up front. But down here, okay, first thing we've got here is for January 2026. January goes out today. It has to. Okay, because I gotta have time to spend the next couple of days getting February sorted around and pushed. Because I am so far behind myself, I'm almost in front. There we go. Y12 track Tanya. Hey, I wonder if I managed to get that. We got 16 unread. Really? Oh, that's Quartz. I don't need that. Please tell me I'm in the right one. I am not. This is the one I need to be in. Okay. That is not, let's see, spam. Did it get anything that I require? Nope. That can all be empty. One thing about spam, guys, don't forget. If you've got it set to spam, do double check your spam from time to time. If you don't recognize something, don't hit the link. Just simply delete it. If it's spam, way too many times, the link will lead to a real mess. Okay. Lord knows I've made that mistake often enough. I don't recommend following, making the same one. Okay. Now we go back here. What have we got here? I wish I could read that. I really have to get my glasses sorted around. Okay, what do we got here? Anzaro, in life advice. A couple of things about that. Okay, I I strongly recommend working with a list method, and that really boils down to this: whatever, take a look at where your life is. Doesn't matter what aspect of it. And the first question you ask: are you content with your life? Are you happy with it the way it is? Okay. Don't worry about whether it matches what anybody else is doing. The important factor here is that you're content with it. Okay. If you're not, the trick is not to figure out what you might be happy with. So many people tell me, to get your life in order, you've gotta have an idea. What are you aiming for? What would you like to do? Well, I'll tell you, that has got to be one of the most confusing paths possible. And here's why. Which makes more sense to you? Would you rather gamble on what you may like, or ask yourself, what are you currently content with? Okay. And I will tell you, the first thing you do, in my eyes, is take a look at your life and go, what am I not content with? Doesn't matter what it is. Okay. Like, for instance, just to give you an idea now, where I live, we have a problem with dust mites. Okay. And this is simple. I'm looking up here. I got dust mites up above my desk. So instead of waiting, I go up here, and I know you can't see it because it's above the monitor. But all I'm doing is clear off my shelf, grab the cloth I've already got in place. Do not like that. I don't know about you, but what I found is that where it comes to things, the moment you see something that is not working for you, that you're not content with, make the change. Do not try and figure out what you'd like. Okay, because I will tell you, once you make the change, if you're not happy with it, you can always make another change. Okay, but the thing is, what I found was, if you take a look at where your life is and you go, I'm not content with this aspect, change it. Okay, doesn't matter how big it is. Where do you start? Right in front of you. Like I said, this was up on the top of my windowsill, in front of my office desk. Okay, so I've got a little marker here. This one says peace. Okay, don't know where I picked it up. Actually, I think I picked it up in my lobby. This one says hope. Okay, so I keep these right above my desk, so I'm looking at them all the time. Okay, and they simply remind me that my life, I can have, like, I've got those two stones, and then I've got my own sign that says, I am worth it. Now, I strongly recommend you take this to heart. Okay, deciding you're worth the effort is absolutely critical. Okay, but you don't have to worry about where you're heading. This is the whole kicker to it. The best advice I can give you where it comes to getting your life on track. Operation, how you doing? Glad you could join us. Oh, I appreciate that. Yeah, I really appreciate the interaction. The interaction yesterday was something bizarre. And even today, I just noticed we had, for a short period, we had 20 people in our office. Okay, I couldn't believe it. I'm looking at this. You've got to be kidding me. But we are going to make this happen. Okay. The best thing you can do if your life is not exactly where you desire it to be, pick one thing you're not content with. Doesn't matter what it is. Change it to something. If you're not happy with the change, modify it again. Yeah, I was looking at that myself, going, "You've got to be kidding me." I am curious though. Let's bring up the other one. Um, Open another new YouTube channel and see how many we've got for subscribers. I don't put a lot of weight behind the subscribers as far as what there actually is. I look at how many views take place. But I am curious. And I go to that, and we are looking at, yeah, we're still fluctuating. You know, it jumps up a couple, drops a couple. Right this moment, we're sitting at 713. But people come and go. You know, the important factor from my standpoint is whether or not we are actually making headway. Now, the hardest part for most people to realize, well, hello. Sorry, birds outside my window. The biggest thing I found is when you take a look at the way your life is going, it doesn't matter how many people are telling you what's going on. If you're not content, that's the one that matters. Okay. But remember, you follow karmic law. Be true to yourself first. Do unto others as you desire them to do unto you. And energy out, energy in. If you follow these 3 steps, these 3 rules, okay, you will find your life changes drastically for the better. Okay. But it literally boils down to being your choice what you're going to do with it. Okay. Now, I'm not the one to tell you that the way you're looking at your life is right, wrong, or indifferent. I'm the one to tell you I'm not happy with my life. So this is what I'm doing to change it. What have I got up here? This particular, oh, I think that's IV. Okay. That's my company. That is the one that I'm working on. You know, and sometime this week, I should be getting another book out. Okay. So I've set things in motion. And, like I told my artist, I'll be hearing from him in a couple of weeks to get the next book out, but I've got to get things started. I'm fabulous at procrastinating. I've gotten very good at it, but I finally managed to break this whole thing of depression. I have spent 4 years in depression. You wouldn't necessarily know it by here, but I'll tell you, it's been an uphill battle. Okay, so we've got that. I also have to take a look at Rose second edition because I got to get that done. Let's see, what do I got open? Rose second edition. And yes, we do have to get that dealt with. Oh, yeah, we can deal with that afterwards. That being, I've got some transcription work I got to get my other half to help with. Simply because it works quicker for me. What? Where are you? I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right, but my eyesight is not reading your name as well as I'd like it. Where are we? Anzarl. But I am absolutely. Well, oh, okay. Now, I gotta ask you, Anzarl. There we are. Unzer. Got it. Told you, man. Now, I do have an appointment booked for the end of February to actually get these replaced. Might be an idea since I can't see anymore. Right, but I gotta ask, well, just because I'm nosy. If you don't mind, I realize you said you're trying to navigate your next where are we here? The next few years of your life after your undergrad. Okay, so let me ask you this. I hope you'll give me an answer. what are you getting coming out of as far as your undergrad goes? Like, what education are you tying off? The reality is, I have literally guided people for 50 years, almost. No, let me see. 76, yeah, 30, yeah, just over 50 years. I've been putting people on track. Now, the fact that I let my life stall was because I bought into something somebody else told me that was very close to me. And I went into severe depression. Okay. So everything stalled. Now I'm having to rekindle everything and get it back on track. So when we take a look at that, Unzer, the nice part, the one thing I'd like to know, if you're willing, is what it is you're just coming out of the education for to enter undergrad. Because the easiest way to navigate things is not to know where you're heading. It's to know where you are. Okay. Then you get an idea. Now, for instance, I'm building an empire. That's just the way it is. I am nobody on the big scheme of things. Okay. Yes, I've been talking to people for decades. Ever since I was 10 years old, I started telling people how their life could unfold. My mistake was not knowing. Well, it wasn't really a mistake. It was true ignorance. I did not know the hiccups that I was going to face or how to deal with them. Now I do, and my hope here, as I build an empire, the first thing I'm doing is building a network. Okay, and one chap that you've seen in here before. What are we at here? Want to do my master's in cancer research, then maybe start my own company or do a PhD and start teaching. But I think a master's first. Let's see how things play out. Okay, two major factors. One, I had a client decades back, okay, about 30 years ago, that when I met her, she was 50. She had always desired to be a doctor. Oh, she was 52 when I met her. At 53, we walked her into like metaphorically, I was talking to her and consulting with her on pretty much on a weekly basis. Got her into med school. At 53, she entered. At 60 years old, she became an MD. Now, I have no idea what happened to her. I'm guessing she died. Okay, because she was 50 30 years ago. So she may well have died. But here's the thing. If this is something to check on, learn everything you can and get your degree as high as you can make it. Okay, rest assured, there is no limit to how much you can learn. But here's something to look into, and don't take my word for it. About 25 years ago, in the cancer research department, they discovered, people tell you cancer is new. I'm going to tell you something that's going to go against all that. Okay, they found cancer cells in Devonian dinosaur bones. So we're talking millions of years old. Cancer is not a new illness. Cancer is part of, and I am no doctor. I've never studied, well, that's not true. I never went after my medical. Okay. I did, after being diagnosed mentally retarded, I did get tossed into a course in theoretical genetics and discovered something. Cancer itself is part of the natural physical order of your body. Okay. What happens though is when you get bombarded with too much negativity, with too much doubt, your body, your cancer cells will kick into overdrive. When they do that, it attacks everything in your body. Now, this is for you to study on the side, learn everything you can, and get the right answers according to what they're teaching you. But understand, cancer is something that can be controlled inside the body. Yes, right now everybody's trying to cure it. Cancer doesn't cure. Okay, and I know people are saying, but there is a cure. We're nearing one. And that's a cute thought. I like it. I'm no doctor. Okay. So, like I said, absolutely learn everything you can, but always remember the human body knows how to deal with it. Learn to talk to the body. And if this means stepping outside, and I don't mean going to the College of Physicians. College of Physicians, you gotta follow what they're saying, or you won't get your PhD or your master's for that matter. Get your degrees. The paperwork for most people works like a charm. Okay, so get it. And when I'm looking at this and start teaching, absolutely start teaching people. I will tell you that teaching people, okay, teaching people how to think about being healthy. Understand. Now, I realize cancer is a different issue, but there is a scar on my arm that is that long, okay, roughly, from this finger to this one. I snapped my arm back in 2010. On March 3rd of 2004, I broke it so bad that they had to plate the bone back in there to hold it in place. Now, I was told it would be 4.5 to 6 months before it even started to heal. On March 12th of 04, 9 days later, I healed the bone completely because I turned around. Doctor said I had to wait this long, and I went, I don't think so. 9 days later, simply by telling my body, you're going to heal. I didn't drop any of the doctor's directions. Okay, I followed what the doctors told us. And this is why I say get your masters. Learn what they're teaching you, because the odds are they know more than you do. But understand, by holding a very positive outlook, okay, you can actually speed your healing rate up. Okay, it's kind of an important factor from that standpoint. And one of the things that we got to remember is that by focusing on what your body can do, you can actually turn things around in a real hurry. It just boils down to this. Okay, whatever you're doing with your life, get it straight. All you got to know is where you are not content. Don't worry about where it's leading. Okay, but every goal that you got, break it down into 15 minutes and half-hour breaks. Okay, when you do that, you will find that your life takes a major turn and change for the better. This stuff, I keep picking this up. What I gotta do is put this behind me where I can't see it. So I'm gonna do that over here. That can go there. That stuff, this is all gaming stuff that I just don't want to deal with right now. But the neat part about it is I looked at it and went, I'm going to build an empire. So I've already got a communication line sitting in place. Okay, that network is through Positive Perceptions, which I'll be back on tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific. Tonight is Monday. We are going to be looking tonight at the art of debt freedom. Okay. And yes, I mean literally debt freedom. There's a real neat trick to it. Okay, and we're going to cover this in a lot more detail tonight. But you've got your own goals. I'm betting you're probably in debt. Okay. Today's world, we've been taught how to get into debt, and very few of us have been taught how to get out of it. Where are we here? Gee, I would love to see what I've got here. There we are, Bucky. How you doing, Bucky? Glad to see you. Yeah, I really do have to look back here. We had Mike in with the gold. We had Cosmic in with silver. Scroll down. Woo, you got the bronze. And then Anzer, you came in with honorable mention. And then people keep coming in, and this is fantastic. I don't believe the number of people that are in here right now. It's bizarre. Yeah. And Bucky here is, and if I'm pronouncing names wrong, pardon me. I hope you'll forgive me because, quite frankly, I can barely read them. Okay. But it says here, I work at a bank part-time as a banking advisor and study full-time in finance in university. I got into a car crash in life in late November, and since then my motivation for school is shot. Okay. Hey, Postman, how you doing? Glad you could join us. Oh, there you are. And you decided to pick up a guitar again after a few years. Neat thing there. My wife is a flutist. She is just getting into the busker program. Okay. And absolutely, if you're picking up a guitar, push it. Okay. Focus on it. It'll bring, I kid you not, I don't know if it'll lead you into anything big, but here's the one thing. Okay. Your motivation for school is shot, but your motivation for learning is clearly not. It's clearly in good shape. Okay. And the reason I say that is because education is not something that only happens in a classroom. That's just the place that we've been taught is where you go to find the teachers. I will tell you, when you're looking at finances, okay, when you're looking at learning, when I talk about doing things, this is what I'm working on, what I'm doing. Now, if your system isn't working well and you haven't given a shot at mine, give it a shot. Okay. One thing I found, I mean, it was funny. I was talking to a bank manager one day, asked him if he had an actual savings account in the bank. And the guy looks at me and goes, "Yes, we do. It doesn't pay well, but we do have an actual savings account." I says, "Really?" He says, "Yeah." He says, he goes, "I told you it doesn't pay much. You make 0.25% interest per year." I says, "Great." I said, "So what you're telling me is if I put $100 in my savings account in your bank, you'll give me at the end of a year a quarter back." He goes, "Yeah, like I said, it doesn't pay much." I says, "Yeah, but what you didn't tell me is it's costing $10 a month to keep that bank account." He says, "Yeah." I says, "Well, by my calculations, this means I put $100 in, you give me 25 cents back. And this is just simple math. Okay. But at $10 a month, I lose 120. So that 100 that I put in, I'm actually down 119.75. I said, "Where, pray tell, is the savings?" Well, 6 months later, they had a new bank account in the bank I deal with. Okay, where it costs nothing to leave my money in there. Still ends up making very little in the way of interest. But I can leave it sit there forever and it will continue to make money. Now this is the nice part about it. Okay. This is why I say the trick to making money grow. Obviously, we look at it and go, spend less than what you're making. Okay, and your bank account will grow. The thing I always look at is this, and this is the key to getting debt free. Okay, every month, keep an eye on what you're doing, track where your money is, but at the beginning of every month, make sure you are a minimum of 1 penny. You've got a minimum of 1 penny more in your bank account than you had the last month, and 1 penny less owed on your credit cards. The credit cards, bank, bank overdraft, whatever. Make sure that you are dropping the credit card by a minimum of 1 penny. Okay, this means it's growing, or your debt load is dropping, depending on which one of the accounts we're looking at. Okay, now I will tell you the other thing is by tracking, and this is why I wrote the book, Believe in Your Finances and Follow Your Dreams. Okay, Most of the self-help books I've got up for grabs. Okay, let's see if I've got. Where am I here? Well, hey, Riz boy, how we doing? Glad you could join us. Okay, Postman. Okay, here's the answer to your question. Where do you start looking to make money? Got one question for you. The easiest thing in the world is to do this. Take a sheet of paper or a computer program, whatever. Make a list of the first 12 things that you enjoy doing in life. It doesn't matter what they are. If one of the first 12 things that you enjoy doing is having a cup of coffee first thing in the morning, put it down on the list. Okay. When you get to 12 items, stop the list. I can virtually guarantee that you like doing more than 12 things. But we stop at 12 because that is the number of ultimate wisdom. Okay. You stop there. And then you shortlist it to the ones that help other people. Now, for instance, if you enjoy drinking coffee, okay, and this is one of my things, I drink coffee constantly. Okay, if you enjoy drinking coffee, it's not going to help other people. It may make you tolerable, but it won't really do them any good. On the other hand, if you enjoy serving coffee, you can do that. That helps other people. It gets their coffee for them. So you check that one off and go, yeah, I enjoy serving coffee. You shortlist it, you'll be down to 5 or 6 just like that. Okay. Then you shortlist it one more time. Okay. And that short list is what you enjoy doing on the short list that helps enough other people that you can generate a viable income. Here's why that works. Okay. When you do that, what you end up with is you've got a career that you're heading for that you enjoy. Number one, money becomes a side effect. You enjoy doing it, so it won't feel like work as much. Okay. Then you look at it making enough money you can generate an income. And then you look at what the outcome is. This means you're aiming at what you enjoy instead of what's going to make money. Because I'll tell you, if you're doing a job that you're not content with, that you're not happy in, you're going to spend, in all likelihood, way more money trying to convince yourself that you're happy than you'll ever save. Okay, and this is based on well over 100,000 clients, well over the course of my lifetime. Okay, now let's see here. So that is the place to start. Um, oh, there we are. Hey, good. How we doing? Question and good looking guy here is going. Hey, man. Question for you. Who are you, and what are your live streams all about? Well, the short answer is this. My actual name is Ronald Keith Andrews. Okay, I've been through heck and back my entire life. Okay, so a day in the office is literally I'm puttering around the office, getting my life moving the direction I want because the direction I desire, because I'm nobody to speak of. I'm not well known around the world. Okay, I am simply somebody that has gone through the ringer. I've fought depression most of my life, the whole 9 yards. So the tools I've learned while I'm in the office, I'm building an empire. I've already got the nerve center set up. Okay, courtesy of a day in the office, positive perceptions, and the free magazine I put out called Positive Perspectives. Okay. Here it is just a question of I'm puttering the office, dedicating the time to me. I come here because I end up with questions by people. What are you up to? Well, what I'm up to is changing my life for what I consider the better. I came out of my last cardiac arrest just 4 months ago, and I mean cardiac arrest to the point of dead twice for a combined total of over 10 minutes, of about 10 minutes. But that's number 10 and 11 times passing away. I came back into this world and went, I'm going to figure out how to live. And the real kicker to it was this. They tell me it's lonely at the top. So I figure, well, if it's lonely at the top, what's the solution? Take as many people with you as you can draw. Okay. So I just give people an idea of what I'm doing that's working for me. Okay. Where are we here? Where are we here? The problem is I get into the sport betting. Number one, I only bet on one thing at all, Postman. Okay. Oh, I should finish that off. I should finish that other question off for good looking guy there. Okay. Um, the stream that I put on at 8 p.m. tonight, 8 p.m. Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific, Friday through Tuesday, is a multi-purpose. I look at UFOs, aliens, self-help, finances, and spirituality, depending on which night we're looking at. It's all on my YouTube channel. Okay, absolutely drop in, give us a listen. And in any of them, absolutely ask your questions. I will be giving honest answers. Won't guarantee you like the answer, but it will be honest. Okay. Now, Postman, here's the thing. Okay, you get into sport betting. The only thing I've ever found betting on works for me. Now, some people make a killing betting, but if you're looking at it, the fact that you're going, I need to stop. Okay, first and foremost, literally take a recording device. Okay, I don't care if it's a cassette recorder, a telephone that you can record on. I'm not tech. Okay, I'm really not. For a half hour straight in your voice, just literally repeat the following. I no longer desire to participate in sport betting. Okay, repeat that for a half hour solid. This is boring as all get out, but it boils down to self-hypnosis. This same method works on smoking, drug addiction, alcoholism, and a myriad of other illnesses. Okay, this is in conjunction with what the doctors and psychologists are telling you. Okay, you do that, and every night just when you're done everything, you're ready to go to sleep, turn that recording on. It can be on low volume, and let it run. You're doing it for a half hour, so you don't have to even loop it. You let it run once. Average turnaround time is literally 21 days. Okay, this is the average turnaround time to break a habit or form one. This will help you immensely. I'm absolutely certain of it because it has literally helped thousands of people with drug addiction, alcohol addiction, gambling addictions, even eating, even food addictions. I'm told, I'm literally told by dozens of people. I've tried all of these things. I went to AA, and I strongly recommend AA and NA, Alcoholics Anonymous and Narcotics Anonymous. Anything to give you a hand up. Okay, if you haven't done it, give it a shot. Tonight, good looking guy. Where am I here? I'm just going to take a look at the list I've got. Tonight is the 26th. We are looking literally tonight at the art of debt freedom. Okay. Now, one thing with that recording, Okay, and specifically since you brought it up there, Postman. Yes, 21 days. Here's the thing: if you miss a day, start your count over. Do not go, oh, I failed. I'm not making it. Start your count over again. Some people it will stop quicker. Some people it takes a little longer. But persistence will stop it. Now, I'm a bad example because I was a drug addict and an alcoholic, and I quit both overnight. Okay, literally, I went, I'm not doing it anymore. Okay, I quit both overnight. But this method has worked for thousands of people. And bear in mind, I'm not talking about things I've read up on that the government or some big corporation has looked at. I've been doing this for 50 years. Okay. And in that time, I've developed a database of my own clients that I've talked to directly. Okay. So, do I know this works? The answer is absolutely yes. Now, tonight we're going to be looking at a lot more in the way of finances. What I'm doing here is I've got a network already built in. Okay. I know absolutely, and let's see if anybody pops up with an answer. I won't leave it hang too long. What is the number one, bar none, method of advertising in the world today? Oh, what do we got? The single barber. Well, I can say it. I'm just not sure what it means. you know. Oh, sorry, the single barber by the look of it. My apologies. I can my eyesight's getting bad, and this is why I've got an appointment. I am curious. Let me see here. Mike, how you doing? Glad you could join us. I do hope your day is going well. Now, guys, hate to do this, but we are down to the last few minutes. I am glad to see so many people came in today. For me, it's bizarre. Okay, it really is. Very happy with the turnout. Thanks so much for your support. I will be back tomorrow at roughly 4 p.m. Well, by 4 p.m. tomorrow, which is Tuesday. I will be back here again. Tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific, I will be here for Positive Perceptions, where we will be discussing the art of debt freedom. Okay. Where are we here? Yep. We are going to be looking at the art of debt freedom. Am I debt free? No. But I do have a path laid out. My debt ratio and my income is climbing. I am glad to hear that. Yeah, I'm really glad that you got here, good looking. I really am. And I will be back again tonight and again tomorrow. I'm on the air at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. Friday Pacific, Friday through Tuesday. So until we speak again, do take care of yourselves and each other, and for pity's sakes, stay positive.